Okay. So, a very good evening to you all. We are welcoming you to the final round of the final day of the group discussion brought to you by the University of Lucknow Delegacy. Today, we are honored to welcome of Dr. Chakravarti's Gold Medal from the University of Lucknow. I welcome each and every one of you over here, and also I welcome all the moderators for having given their time in the spacious session of the group discussion organized by the University of Lucknow Delegacy. The topic of the discussion for today would be print media versus digital media, where we will be discussing about the positive and the negative impacts and sides of these two media aspects. So we'll be starting with the first speaker now, and I would request the first speaker to please start presenting your view within a span of 2 minutes from now. So I would request Kriti ji to please start speaking if she is ready. Okay. Kriti ji, can you hear us?
Whoever is ready, kindly take the stage.
Hello? Yeah.
Kindly.
I
Yes,
am
ma'am.
audible?
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Kriti, you are done.
So as it is said that every coin has has two sides, negative and head and tail. Same goes with any of the media. It has both negative and positive sides. So when we talk about digital media, we can see it is less expensive. We can search any of the useful information wherever we are. We do not require any sort of planning or planning whether we will get or not. It is only one touch away. Whichever problem we are in our youth nowadays, whichever problem we got, our one solution is Google or use digital media for it. If we have any technical issues or we want any feedbacks or any competitive examining preparation, everything is available on one platform. That is digital media. Whereas if I speak of print media, there are negative print media. We can see it is more the most of the who big, most of the people of India nowadays also use print media. We can see our parents also, they are used to the custom of reading newspapers early in the morning to get the feedbacks. In the print media, we can mark away the important thing, whereas in a digital media, we have to depend on a device, whether if it works, then we will work. If it backup goal or data goal or internet goal, we become paralyzed. Whereas in print media, we can store the information and we do not have to wait for any technical internet or any sort of device, and we can mark and read whenever we want to memorize the things. So in my point of view, both have their own benefits.
Okay. Very well said, Ms. Bajpai. The next speaker, please. Sooner the better.
हेलो
Saurabh ji, would you like to share your thoughts on the
आशीष
topic?
Hello?
आशीष जी बोलना चाह रहे हैं जी आशीष
Ashish ji, fine.
जी मैं प्रिंट
Yes,
मीडिया
आशीष
से
जी।
बेटर मैं लोग हैं जो कि प्रिंट मीडिया में ऐसे कई सारी चीजें या ऐसे कई सारे आर्टिकल्स हैं जो बेटर से हो जाए आप डिजिटल मीडिया में, और डिजिटल मीडिया में हम और आप भी आजकल इस चीज देख रहे हैं कि कितना अच्छे से यूज कर ले रहे हैं। और ये भी है कि ये आज के दिन में है कि पेपर नहीं पहुंच पा रहा, मगर हाँ ये है कि न्यूज बहुत आसानी से लोगों के घर तक पहुंच जा रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू द डिजिटल, या कई भी चीजें से द्वारा या कई तरह से या अलग अलग जगहों से। हाँ कभी कभी होता है कि डिजिटल मीडिया में कुछ चीजें ऐसे होते हैं कि खराब भी पहुंच जाते हैं, जैसे कि इंटरटेनमेंट के मामले में या किसी के मामले में। तो इससे क्या है कि उसमें चीजें की और भी बेटर करने जा सकते हैं, और या हम चीजों को सही किया जा सकता है। और अंत में बस यही कहना चाहूंगा कि डिजिटल मीडिया आज बहुत ज्यादा फास्टर हो रहा है, क्योंकि हमारे जैसे जैसे आधुनिकरण होते जा रहे हैं इंडिया में या पूरे वर्ल्ड में।
Okay. Thank you, Ashish ji. I really appreciate your brief statements. Is there anybody else who would like to follow up on what
I
Ashish
think
ji has
Saurav
said?
Mishra want to say something.
Saurav ji, please.
Saurabh ji, you may please start.
Saurav ji, can you hear us?
I guess there is a network
सौरभ
disconnect.
जी, आपको हमारी आवाज आ रही है क्या? अच्छा अच्छा, आप एक मैसेज ड्रॉप कर दीजिए जूम चैट के द्वारा कि सौरभ जी थोड़ा कनेक्शन को देखें. Meanwhile, we fix a connection with Saurabh ji. Is there anybody else who would like to share their thoughts on this topic?
I guess Shashwat ji.
I want more clarification on the topic, please.
Shashwati, the topic is very broad spectrum. It's print media, the media that we used to consume perhaps pre-lockdown quite regularly. There were magazines, there were newspapers, versus the online media. Online media has a very broad spectrum, right from those private channels like Brute, where we consume our news, to News Laundry, to these established media houses now providing their news online, to a very new branch of news and current affairs that we follow on Instagram, for instance, like we follow Viral for Bollywood news. So it's a very broad spectrum topic. Up to your understanding and perspectives, we're going to shape up the rest of the discussion. So if anybody else who would like to speak up,
Can I speak?
we can have a couple.
Can I speak?
Yes, Ms. Bajpai.
Yes, please.
Yes, Ms. Bajpai. Though, Ms. Bajpai, I'll slightly discourage you in this parameter that you have spoken once. If you want to share something, just keep it very short so that we can have one new speaker.
Okay. Fine.
Yes.
So
You can
I
share
only
a very
want to.
small point. Yes.
Okay, on
Yes.
a smaller. I want to. Comparison of print media. If in print media anything publishes, the person with regarding to whom the news has published had no right to say express her point of view. In digital media, if any article posted, the person can use the social media or any other platform to clarify his or her point on that news, whether it is rumor or not. Because the media develops the personality of a person in the people's mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Totally
interesting point. Very interesting point. I have a question for the participants, and I'll really appreciate if you guys
So
can.
before you put a question, can I put a point here?
Please, Shiv.
Okay.
Please.
I don't understand why there is a versus between the print media and the digital media, as both are playing a wonderful role in making the awareness of the society. Being a more players in the media section is the benefit of any country, because there are many people who are in India who can't afford internet. So print media is playing their role, and the digital media is playing their other role. Now, digital media has covered a vast majority of the people, so information or a very important information can be spread out between the digital users very fast. But both play a simple and more mutual role, that making the people aware. So I don't understand there should be any versus in between these two medias.
शिव, इसके बारे में अभी हम और डिस्कशन करेंगे। अभी मैं चाहूंगा कि जो दो लोग और थे, एक संघमित्रा जी और किसी एक ने और रिक्वेस्ट की है कि वो भी अपना व्यू देना चाहेंगे, वो अपने विचार दें। उसके बाद हम इस विषय में थोड़ा और अपने भी विचार हम लोग देंगे।
Can I speak?
ओके, शाश्वत जी के तुरंत बाद संघमित्रा जी, आप बोलना शुरू कर दीजिएगा प्लीज।
जी सभी को नमस्कार। और हमारा आज का टॉपिक है प्रिंट मीडिया वर्सेस डिजिटल मीडिया। प्रिंट मीडिया और डिजिटल मीडिया का दोनों का अपना समय के अनुसार, स्थान के अनुसार दोनों का अपना महत्व है। हम किसी के भी महत्व को कम नहीं आंक सकते, हम किसी के भी महत्व को कम नहीं कह सकते। प्रिंट मीडिया की अगर बात करें तो आज भी ग्रामीण इलाकों में काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रचलित है, क्योंकि हमारा आजकल अगर देखें अभी तक ग्रामीण इलाकों में तो हमारा डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो है इतना मजबूत नहीं है कि वहाँ पर डिजिटली हर चीज़ संभव हो सके, हर चीज़ पहुँच सके। तो काफ़ी बड़ा तबका है हमारे समाज का, हमारे देश का, जो आज भी प्रिंट मीडिया पर निर्भर करता है। और अगर डिजिटल जिस तरीके से हर चीज़ के कुछ खामियां होती हैं तो कुछ अच्छाइयां भी होती हैं, इसी तरीके से अगर डिजिटल मीडिया की बात की जाए तो दौड़ भाग भरी जिंदगी में कम से कम समय में हमें यथाशीघ्र जो है सूचनाओं से अवगत कराती है। लेकिन इसकी साथ ही साथ यह एक कमी भी है कि यह काफ़ी ज़्यादा महंगी है। जो गरीब तबका है, जो गरीब लोग हैं, हमारे देश के पिछड़े लोग हैं, जो इसको अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं। और इस तरीके से और अगर हम देखें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया की वजह से, तो इसका एक सबसे बड़ा नकारात्मक प्रभाव जो मुझे व्यक्तिगत तौर पर नज़र आता है वह यह है कि रीडिंग हैबिट जो है लोगों में काफ़ी हद तक घट रही है। लेकिन जहाँ तक मैं व्यक्तिगत स्तर पर समझता हूँ, दोनों का ही महत्व है और दोनों के ही महत्व को नकारा नहीं जा सकता। जी,
Very well said, Shashwat ji. Ms. Sangamitra, can we hear you out? Devanshi, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think both print and digital media have their respective, importance. So I would like to present a very balanced approach. See, print media, I think, is more responsible because only a dignified, qualified, and an experienced journalist can get his stuff printed. And I think whatever is, printed in newspapers or in the magazines, it is very well reviewed and it is cross-checked multiple times before it is served to the people. So I think it has a more responsible content, because once it is printed, it cannot be taken down. Whereas in digital media, we see that there are a lot of freelancer journalists who just print anything and they tend to write blind articles on people, and they are not at all responsible for what they write. And like you said, like the example that you gave of Navjot Singh Sidhu, I think it happens in the digital media more because there is this trend of blind articles which can tarnish anybody's image and character, assassinate anybody. And since there you cannot, and you also in the print, in the digital media, you have an advantage that you can write anything about anybody without actually mentioning their name. So it is very, harmful for a person's reputation. And I think print media is more employment generative. And also, but another point that I have against print media is that I think it's kind of arbitrary. Compared to that, digital media is more democratic, because print media only offers a one-way dialogue, whereas digital media, anybody can express their views and edit or make changes according to their own perspective. So yeah, I would instead of vouching for any one of these, I would like to take a balanced approach. Both are equally important and both have their own pros and the cons. Thank you.
Agree, totally agree with that. Yeah.
Pranam for your
Can I add a point?
inputs. Yes, Shiv.
I was about to refute the Chakrabarti's claim, but at last she said that both are mutually responsible. So I can't say it, but still I'm putting my point that saying that print media is much more responsible is kind of a misconception we had now, because as I said earlier that the digital media reach out people more faster than the print media. So we often see the fake news or fake things on the digital media. So we had a conception that the print media is much more responsible than the digital media, but both are being responsible. Is the fact that the fake news ones are much more easily reach through the digital ones. So kind of refute the Chakrabarti's claim.
Can you please write your argument, because your voice audio is not at all clear.
Sure,
I have
I will write it.
a bone to pick.
Please.
Is there an audio lag?
No. I guess there's some problem on the network side from Ms. Chakrabarti. Other people have good network quality over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a bone to pick. For me, it's very difficult to debate on a topic where where each and every speaker concludes that both should live in coexistence. Well, coexistence is not the point of debate. At least on the panel where I am. We are having a strange battle at the moment. The one battle is of nostalgia, where we have childhood memories of reading magazines, perhaps. And today is the battle with technology. Today, Google decides what is my interest, and according to that, I get my news. So AI versus nostalgia, are we seeing a point where the traditional print news is going to be obsolete? What does the youth think about it? Quick replies.
Yeah, I would like to add a point over here. Yeah.
Nostalgia versus AI. Yes.
I would like to add a point over here. Yeah. If we talk about the changing trend nowadays, we see कि पूरी तरीके से we are in a world of revelation nowadays. आज के जमाने में हम देख रहे हैं कि वो जो ट्रेंड आते हैं उनको लेकर भी लोग उतने ज्यादा, हमारे जो आजकल की यूथ है इतनी ज्यादा फुल नहीं है कि वो किसी भी ट्रेंड को जाने पहचाने नहीं मतलब एक्सेप्ट कर रही है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दैट टुडेज यूथ मेजॉरिटी इज मोस्टली क्रिटिकल. तो जब भी वो किसी नए ट्रेंड को देते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर गूगल की भी हम बात करें तो पीपल आर अवेयर कि ज्यादा मात्रा में द कंटेंट दैट गोज ओवर देयर इज नॉट लेजिटिमेट एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द कंटेंट ओवर देयर इज फेक. तो कहीं ना कहीं वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट कि हाँ हो सकता है कि धीमे धीमे इट इरोड्स और धीमे धीमे इट गोज आउट ऑफ द ट्रेंड, बट इसको जाने में भी समय लगेगा क्योंकि पीपल आर नाउअडेज मूविंग मोर टुवर्ड्स बुक्स एंड कॉमिक्स एंड मैगजीन्स. और कहीं ना कहीं पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू डिटैच एंड अनटॉक्सिकेट देमसेल्फ फ्रॉम द सोशल मीडिया और सोशल मीडिया वर्ल्ड. तो कहीं ना कहीं हम देख सकते हैं कि इसका एक डीमेरिट आगे चल के मुझे मिलेगा.
I acknowledge your points. Is there anybody else who would like to come up? Yes, Ms.
I have a point if there is time.
Yes, Ms. There is time. Please.
Okay. So if we see in our parenthood, many of the people used to buy many magazines or newspapers in order to gather the point of view of different editorials or a different newspaper, because in print media regarding a particular news or regarding any particular topic, everybody has its own views. And if our readers read through print media, he or she gathers a point of view of a particular genre or a particular section of the society, which the newspaper or the magazine wants to portray. Whether in digital media, if a person is more engaged or more interested in a topic, he can refer to different site or different website which publishes many other point of views of thinking about a particular topic. which is more or less expensive rather than buying different types of magazines to read about a particular topic or gather knowledge. So and in this Corona time, when people avoid to take the things, the digital media is the only source through which we can see what is happening around the world. Because many of the people are afraid that if we buy a newspaper, we will get infected. Because newspaper is also a manual of physical source. So
absolutely. Point very well taken, ma'am. Thank you very much. One question that I want to put to my participants, and if anyone would like to ask me a question or other panelists, please feel free. So the question is that fake news काफी ज्यादा फेक न्यूज एक ऐसी बीमारी है जिसकी दवा भी हमें सोशल मीडिया दे रहा है या ऑनलाइन मीडिया दे रहा है, एप्स के द्वारा, जैसे ऑल्ट न्यूज है जो पकड़ती है कि फेक न्यूज कहाँ पे है। आप लोगों के हिसाब से, द यूथ ऑफ लखनऊ यूनिवर्सिटी के हिसाब से, फेक न्यूज का ये जो क्रिएशन है, इसमें क्या पूरा का पूरा किरदार ऑनलाइन मीडिया का है, क्योंकि उसकी पेनिट्रेशन पावर ज्यादा है, ज्यादा तेज जा सकती है समाज के अंदर, ज्यादा डाइवर्स जा सकती है? क्या फेक न्यूज का जो प्रॉब्लम है वो पूरा का पूरा लेना देना ऑनलाइन मीडिया से है या प्रिंट मीडिया भी इसका भागीदार है? आप क्या मानते हैं, फेक न्यूज एंड मीडिया? ये शाश्वत
ये कहना है कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया ही इसके लिए जिम्मेदार है पूरी तरीके से काफ़ी गलत होगा। पहले भी अफवाहें उड़ती थी, बशर्ते बात यह थी कि वह धीरे गति से जाती थी और डिजिटल मीडिया की वजह से तेजी से अफवाहें फैलने लगी हैं। तो ऐसा नहीं कह सकते कि सिर्फ जो है डिजिटल मीडिया की वजह से ही अफवाहें फैल रही हैं या फिर पूर्णतया डिजिटल मीडिया ही जिम्मेदार है।
Got anybody else who would like to reply to fake news and media?
Yeah, there is the side of fake news is more because there are a lot of people who are engaged in that at the same time. So, hello, can I speak?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I was thinking मेरे हिसाब से डिजिटल मीडिया में फेक दोष किसी एक मीडिया पे नहीं ला सकते, क्योंकि दोनों प्रिंट में एज वेल एज डिजिटल मीडिया में अफवाहें उड़ती है। बट प्रिंट मीडिया में क्या है, चीजें ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबल और कंट्रोल्ड माने में होती है, एटलीस्ट आज का ये टाइम में। पहले जब इतना, एंड आई थिंक प्रिंट मीडिया का डिजिटल मीडिया प्रिंट मीडिया पे काइंड ऑफ कुछ हद तक इन्फ्लुएंस रहता है, तो इट कीप्स द चेक ऑन द प्रिंट मीडिया अकॉर्डिंग टू मी। बिकॉज आजकल आप अखबार में कुछ भी नहीं छाप सकते, क्योंकि लोगों को वो पता चलेगा ही चलेगा, बिकॉज टू इंटरनेट। So according to me, print media is more responsible and it is better reviewed, whereas digital media में इतने लाखों लोग एक साथ involved हैं, एक साथ they are tweeting stuff, they are sending WhatsApp forwards, so I think उसको manage करना, control करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, as it's like a wildfire according to me. And also fake news can also be taken down. Whereas print media में एक बार कुछ छाप दो तो उसको वापस लेना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, it's impossible.
I want to add this that in print media we can see that if in most from the reporter's point of view, the newspaper writes that the news which we are publishing is from the reporters who is exactly on the point of spot, who has seen that event going on. So regarding the fake media is all about, in my view, media is all about giving information. So in print media, when it comes to print media, there is no verification point is there. Whether it, I agree that digital media spread news very fast, but it gives us a scope also where it is safe. It depends on the reader whether he or she wants to believe a news or not. If he not to believe a news, he can verify using digital media only. Because in digital media there are a lot of many people who have written about that topic.
Fine. Very well said. Is there anyone who would like to add a question? That question can bring a new dimension to the discussion so far.
I would rather put on.
I agree with you. Can I counter briefly a bit,
Oh, you go.
if you allow?
Yes.
Actually, I agree with you, but say that the print media has the biases of the reporters. So don't you think biases do not apply to digital media? Because उसमें तो हजारों लोग एक साथ चीज में engage हो रहे हैं ना, तो वो अपनी हजारों लोग अपनी अलग-अलग point of view देंगे. You can anybody can get any information in Wikipedia today. So I think ये जो bias जो point of view है ये media में ज़्यादा आता है compared to print media, because the fact remains that in print media the content is more reviewed, better reviewed, better analyzed before
Okay.
Very well.
I would like to clear something here.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. People are talking about the biased news and the fake news towards the news media. But the point is that the fake news is mainly being mainstreamed through the social apps, not the medias. They are very less responsible in this because most of the fake news is spread through the social media itself. So if we are talking about the how does the fake news are which media is more responsible for the fake news? So it's none of them, because the people who do for to spread this fake news have their own agenda, and they don't go through these print medias or the social or the sorry in news media. They go through these social medias.
Yeah. What actually
Absolutely.
Shiv wants to say is that there is a slight difference between media and social media, and we need to focus on that. That digital media is not equal to social media. Digital media is a different thing, and social media is a different thing in a whole. That is what Shiv wants to say, basically.
Exactly.
Interesting. Very nice. Is there anyone who would like to have a question at this point to the panelists or to each and every one of us? Yes.
हेलो मेरा
Yes, sir.
सवाल था मॉडरेटर्स और हमारे पार्टिसिपेशन से, जैसे कि ये रहता है कि हम डिजिटल मीडिया या उसमें प्रिंट मीडिया में कोई चीज होता है, कोई न्यूज होता है बायस्ड होता है या कुछ ऐसा न्यूज होता है जो दबा दिया जाता है, तो ऐसा क्या चीजें होना चाहिए, ऐसा क्या करना चाहिए कि कुछ होता है कि कभी कभी होता है दबा दिया जाता है, या कोई चीज होता है कि हाँ ट्रेंड में ही चलता रहता है और बाकी न्यूज पे ध्यान नहीं देते हैं? तो मेरा सवाल यही था।
Would like to reply to what she has asked. Rather, other news which are more important to one's attention does not trend. Is trending a concept which is influenced by commerce?
Yes.
Trending. Yes, Shiv.
Yes, it is all influenced ones, because every news which has not been published more is kind of having an agenda, because if it is an important point, an act or any incident which is very controversial, and if it is had been rebuked to not to be in the mainstream news channels, then there is a definitely a agenda of the politicians or some powerful hands. So we can't do anything to make it more unbiased. The only thing we can do is that to select those channels who are being very responsible to cover every news, every aspect, even the slightest uh, injustice in any sects of the society. So it's the responsibility of the people rather than any government or the medias.
Okay, very interesting. Is there anybody else who would like to follow up on what Shiv has said or what
whether other news are if a person select his or particular feed, like Shiv said, a particular channel or a particular feed in which he or she interested, then he or she will know the news related to that feed only. It depends upon the reader what he or she wants to read. If he or she wants to read trend news or the feed or other news, it depends.
Okay.
It gives us a right.
Understood, ma'am. Understood. I have one question, and after that, perhaps we can conclude this session. Or if somebody else wants to ask a question, he or she is most welcome. For the newspapers, one of the most favorite habit of mine was to read, browse those comic strips. Garfield used to be, and Archie's used to be the regular in TOI back in the day. It's been a while since I've read a newspaper. Something that I feel that cartoonists are not getting their due in print, in online media. I would like to know your take on that. And one follow-up question, since we have limited time. There isn't the rise of cartoonists, but we see a rise in paparazzi community. What does the youth think of paparazzi? So these two questions. One is that, is there a downfall of satire and cartoon in popular media, be it we consume on newspapers or on online surfaces? And what does the youth think about paparazzi? Quick replies, please.
I would rather say that it has taken a new form, and I would call it a meme, or and saying that it has a downfall. I don't think that it got in a downfall. It's just that people had got more tolerant over it. Sorry, intolerant over it, and I would not discuss the news, the incident that happened in the France. But if you talk about the incident, one news agency had portrayed a religious symbol, a religious god of a particular belief in a cartoonist way, and they people got offended. So there was a lot of things happened, a terror attack, and many things continued to happen. And yesterday was, I think, the judgment on the situation. But saying it is has a downfall, I don't. It has a, this is the different form of expression of the news and the